midweek wrestling review. We got to the NXT. I thought was actually pretty good this week. And we are building to Heat Wave, which is next week. And
I'm telling you, this song should definitely be Heat Wave.
Burn about the Heat Wave. But I think they took the WCW name of Heat Wave.
Whenever I'm something inside.
Dude, Heat Wave 97. But so this is the go home show today, and then also when it comes to AEW, we got Quake by the Lake.
Oh, shucky ducky quack quack.
Which honestly had three great to great matches on there, from the actual casket match, which had a great finish.
And moments.
Yeah, and moments. Then we have the tornado tag with Andrade and Rush and the Lucha Brothers. And then we have Moxley taking on Lionheart, Chris Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
So I was excited about the show. Let's get up into it. So first off, for NXT, we're gonna do more of like a recap of what's been going on. Nikita Lyons, aka Damian Bigelow, taking on Kenna James. Nikita Lyons basically wins with the roundhouse kick, and there's a split-legged thing for the pin.
You dropped that.
Basically,
this is just a match for her to showcase her coming to the main. Well, I don't know if she's coming to the main roster full time or she's just there for the tournament.
Yeah.
If that was the case, they should have put a Toxic Attraction in there.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. So, what was that? After the match, James tries to attack her from behind. Hits her with a briefcase. She's standing toes over the Nikita Lyons. I didn't see any of the Apollo Crews and Creed Brothers backstage type thing, but we have a Wesley versus Trick Williams match that was like a rounds match. So every time, tonight's rules were in a round match: 6 3-minute rounds, 20-second breaks between each round. Falls can be won by pinfall submission or count out.
What? I missed this completely.
Fall can take place, can be won by pinfall submission or count out. Once a fall occurs, the round ends. The first superstar to win 2 falls will be declared the winner. So it's a fancy boxing way to do 2 out of 3 falls.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So we had the rounds matchup. So from what I remember, they both tied 1-1. I believe what happened. I gotta go back to it, but yeah. So you know what, they were tied 1-1, and then the bell rang for round 5, and then Trick Williams tries to leap across the screen, but then Lee takes him down for a 2 count. What happened at the finish? Wesley rocks Trick and hits a flying dropkick, and then has him against the ropes 40 seconds up in the round. But then Wesley goes and gets a boxing glove of his own, because he didn't. Trick Williams had the boxing gloves on. Wesley did not. Then he goes and hits him with the boxing glove, takes down Trick Williams, knocks him out, and pins and wins the matchup. And then Wesley wins 2 falls to 1. After the match, of course, you had Carmelo Hayes being upset, but then Wesley just stood tall. Then we had.
I'm surprised they're still pushing Wesley.
Yeah, I know about his partner. Chase University didn't see any of that stuff, because I'm not into Andre Chase. They have a promo with Carmelo Hayes and member from Imperium. What's his name? Giovanni Vinci.
Whatever his name is not, it's not that, but sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah, but I was able to,
Fabian Eichner. That's what I'm calling.
Eichner, yeah. Well, they tried to attack each other, but they kept getting out of it, and it had to be broken apart. Arana Grace taking on Thea Hall. Mariah Grace wins that matchup. Apollo Crews comes out to take on Roderick Strong. Pretty decent match between these two. Apollo Crews hits him with the Ron Simmons like spine buster to win the match. That's what he's been using to win matches now. Is that Ron Simmons spine buster?
Yep. Interesting.
Last Session is backstage with Malik Blade and Pretty Deadly. I'm not gonna say these fools' names, and it looks like they may be teaming up. I'm just like, oh Lord. One was Lash looking beautiful, absolutely, but I was just like, Lash Legend can be annoying sometimes. To be honest with you.
Oh, you think?
Oh yeah. Santos Escobar driving his car to the final accord with Tony D'Angelo. Okay, so what they are going to do is they said they're going to have a match at Heatwave, and Santos says, if I don't win, I'm gone. I'm out of NXT. But Tony D'Angelo wants to keep his guys. He wants to keep the legend.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but he says, but if I win, Miguel Del Fantasma is out of your group, out of your family, and Tony D'Angelo says, okay, I'm cool with that, but we're not gonna do this in a regular match. We're gonna do this in a street fight. And
I feel like they're gonna actually be on the street, on that bridge where they threw two dimes out.
Oh yeah, bro, that would be kind of crazy. That actually be kind of fun for them to be on the street around there. That would be cool. So, what was I saying? So they agree. So that's what's going to be the match at Heatwave next week, which should be a decent matchup. But I do believe that I want to say Tony D'Angelo just took a loss not too long ago, so I think Tony D'Angelo may take the win here. So
I think Tony D'Angelo is winning.
So Santos can go to the main roster, but I'm also thinking like I thought Legado del Fantasma would come with him, even though they don't need to. But they
I want to see. Honestly, I really want a Santos and Rey Mysterio feud.
A Santos and Rey Mysterio feud?
Yes.
That would be interesting.
They kind of set it up on NXT, but nothing ever came of it.
Oh. I really think that would be like a dope ass feud. To be honest with you.
So yeah.
Pretty Deadly takes on Idris and Malik Blade. So yeah, they had a matchup. Pretty Deadly wins the matchup. Cora Jade taking on Zoe Starks. This one, main event. Zoe Starks.
Wow, that's okay.
That's what.
No, I mean they both of them kind of in a high stakes match that they both need to win. I don't know why you put them against each other, but all right.
Well, she hits the Zoe hits the modified GTS on Zoe Starks because she got distracted because her homegirl came out of there. What's her name? Roxanne Perez?
Roxanne Perez is fighting Cora Jade.
Yeah, and she starts taunting her with a kendo stick, and then she goes on lows on Jay with a kendo stick, and they got the ring. But then Mandy Rose is trying to attack Zoe Stark, but Zoe Stark hit her with a super kick, and they hit her with the GTS, and lays out Mandy Rose holding the title above her head. I think Mandy Rose keeps that championship.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Especially with her going to the main roster.
Exactly. Who's Zoe Stark?
Not going to the main roster, but she's in the tournament, so I'm like.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think that team goes to the finals. Do you think?
No.
Oh damn! I think because you gotta have some kind of upsets in there, some kind of Cinderella story. So I figured that they will probably go to the
but
and lose.
If they go, we kind of already know who's winning to begin with. If they go against Dakota Kai,
it's gonna be Io.
But I'm saying if they go against Io and Dakota Kai, we know for sure. At least if it's like Raquel or somebody else, they kind of can surprise us. But if it's Yam Yam Bigelow and Zoe Starks, already know for sure that they not winning. Like so, But we'll see.
We will see. All right, so now that is over no. Now it's time to go over to
Real quick.
A. Okay.
Before we go to AEW, I have to. This was for some reason, this was a big topic on Twitter, so I gotta bring it up a little bit.
Okay.
All right. So, Ariana Miller. She's an NXT talent, and to be honest with you, I personally understood what she's saying, but she got hate for it. But she said, "I am glad Ember Moon is the first Black NXT Women's Champion." And that's all she tweeted.
I read this story. Okay,
that's
go ahead.
All she tweeted, and then people was like, "What about Sasha Banks?" She was like, "Yeah, but Sasha Banks is not fully like her mom is like a different ethnicity or whatever." So then people started coming to her and hating her. She said, "No, I didn't mean Sasha Banks wasn't Black. I was just saying like full Black. That's kind of like how The Rock and Kofi, how they champion." But then she got so much hate she had to delete her Twitter. I was like, "It's not that serious. Like, it is not that serious." I just wanted to say, just hear people out before you bury them.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm like, no, it's not that serious. But then also, this is a issue that we in the Black community have a problem all the time with, and I'm like, Sasha, you ever watch the show Blackish?
No.
It's hilarious, by the way.
Blackish, they win every award every year.
I mean, Blackish is like, it's like the New Age Cosby Show.
Yeah, the New Age Black show.
Yeah. And it's a positive show, but it has a lot of social commentary in there. Mm-hmm. Also, it teaches you a lot of stuff also about a lot of situations that you may not know about, not just about race and stuff like that. But they had an episode because, Tracy Ellis Ross is the mom on there. She plays the Rainbow. Mm-hmm. And she's mixed in the show. And they had an episode when Junior, which is their...
You say she's mixed in the show like she's not mixed in real life.
I mean, well, yeah, Diana Ross was doing the thing back then. Yeah, she is mixed in real life. But I'm saying, in the show, she's mixed also. And her son, Junior, has a girlfriend. He brought home a white girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she is having a problem with that because she was upset that she was a white girl because she said she never knew how she never knew what side she was on. So they did different comedy stuff about her trying to figure out who she was as she was growing up in college and high school and shit like that. But she wanted to go see her dad. Her dad is white, and he says, you being a strong Black woman, and she's like, wait a minute, Dad, you just said I'm a Black woman. He said, yeah. He says, but how can you just tell me I'm a Black woman and I'm half white also? Saying I was like disregarding your side. He says when he showed her a picture of them when they went to the fair. He said, remember when we went to the fair and we got all those looks and people saying all those things behind our back? I knew then that society made that choice for you, and they are automatically going to identify you as a Black woman. I said all that to say, people that are mixed, and I have mixed family members also, people that are mixed, society unfortunately makes that decision for them and identifies them as Black.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Obama, Halle Berry, people that we didn't even know was biracial. The society that they all this one drop rule, this and all that stuff like that. No matter this racist society, they made that decision for them. Sasha Banks is a Black woman. That's what it is. And
this what the thing that this whole thing came about. She didn't say nothing about Sasha at all. She didn't. Yeah. People saying she burying Sasha. She didn't mention Sasha at all. All she said was Ember Moon was a good Black champion, and then people started going crazy.
She called it the first Black champion, didn't she, or the only Black champion?
She said the first Black, like the first.
Yeah. Which I mean, also, I love Ember Moon. I love Ember Moon. But I'm just saying, but that also is a discredit to Sasha Banks also. It does not mean attack that girl's Twitter. Like I said.
It don't mean attack her. You could just simply comment. You don't gotta make her quit.
I mean, I did see that she came back on Twitter, but also take the time to educate instead of trying to cancel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the girl it's to say one day. It's kind of like what you brought up the point with Kofi Kingston when Devon Dudley asked him, "How does it feel to be the first black WWE champion?" And he was like, "I'm not." And he was like, "What you say? Because you're discrediting Dwayne Johnson." And I thought that took a lot, because it's like, you know what, he's right. Because no matter how we want to put asterisks on something like this, well, he's half this, he's half that. Society looks at them as one way, and that's the way that they want to view them, so they don't have to respect them, and that's a black man.
Well, again, The Rock is still ambiguous sometimes when he want to be never stars.
Well, I mean, The Rock has probably come out as, black and Samoan. He always says it now. Like that.
Yes.
That's like his new gimmick now. Half black, half Samoan. Always a color. All, stuff like that. Because I took Hollywood by the balls. All that shit. But what I'm saying is, I was reading that. I was just like, y'all don't need to be blowing this girl Twitter up and sitting there, and because that's how y'all start problems. That's how y'all start. Shit, like even when they was trying to cause problems between Zendaya and Keke Palmer. Why?
Yeah.
We both winning.
Yeah.
How about y'all be happy that both these sisters is winning? And same thing there. It's like Sasha and Ember Moon. We both winning. Sasha ain't asked to be this way. That's just the way it is. Sasha was a great, and Sasha is a superstar. And she's one of the best NXT champions, and she's black, just like Ember Moon. So how about we celebrate them both? And how about Ari Miller, who's a black female wrestler, also, how about we celebrate her as well? Instead of trying to tear her down because of, stuff that, because I don't believe she meant any ill will by that.
Nope, not at all. But just stop bullying people. That's all I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying, yo, please, like, chill with that. Educate yourselves first and stuff like that. And just tell her, hey, Sasha, just like I told you that whole thing with Blackish. And I was like, just take time to educate somebody. If they want to hear it, they want to hear it. They don't, they don't. But now it is time to go on to AEW Dynamite. It is Wednesday, and you do know what that means. It's Quake by the Lake. So we got a lot of good stuff going on for you tonight on Dynamite, and they automatically kicked off with the Coffin Match.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be in the middle of the show or something.
So that this is the opening match. Brody King taking on Darby Allin. So Darby has his skateboard, and he cracks, like in the beginning of the match, he cracks Brody in the back with the skateboard with the thumbtacks. He had the thumbtacks on the bottom, and then he starts raking Brody King's forehead with the skateboard, and that man starts pouring out buckets of blood.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to do it that hard.
Exactly. Like this is like almost Undertaker No Mercy 2002 level blood.
Yeah, this guy did a little bit too hard.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it's quite Eddie Guerrero Judgment Day 2004 blood, but that Undertaker No Mercy, because it was getting all in his beard. Like he had to, it probably was because he had to use like both his hands to wipe the blood away from his eyes. Like he really raked him to the point where it's just like, okay, yeah, you cut something because he's really coming down here and bleeding.
Yep.
Brody King, when I said try to collect himself because he probably couldn't fucking see. Darby fires back with an avalanche cold red on Brody King and goes back into the ring. Darby tries to put Brody to the coffin, but Brody blasts Darby with some stiff shots, and then Brody jumps off the second rope towards Darby, who's on the table on the outside of the ring. But Darby dodged it, Brody crashed through the table, and then all of a sudden, that spot the lights went out, and when they came back, we saw it was the House of Black, and Darby was just like, all right, fuck it, goes outside, it dives on towards the House of Black, but then he's getting jumped. He's getting jumped by Buddy Matthews, who gives him his finisher, the best kept secret, which was called in WWE, but I forgot what it's called now. And they set up a table in the corner, and then Brody King gives him a cannonball through the table. Like, they beating the shit out of Darby Allin. So the crowd's chanting, "We want Sting! We want Sting!" And there's no Sting coming out. So then Buddy Matthews, and there's no disqualification in the Coffin Match. Now, Buddy Matthews is going over to the casket. This is not... One thing about a Coffin Match, I'm like, I know WWE has never had any really great casket matches, but I like the casket setup. I don't know if you agree or disagree with that.
Are you talking where it's just like actual caskets propped up and everything? Kind of just open it to the ring?
It's like an actual fucking casket that they use like for funerals. I ain't talking about the big 1992 Yokozuna caskets or the big Kamala caskets like that. Like it's a fucking box. I'm talking about a casket that's up on a casket lift. So you can put it, so it'll be easier to put your opponent, or more believable to put your opponent in the casket, opposed to just being on the floor. And the AEW casket is like a old school pine box casket.
I mean, that's Teddy Riley.
Teddy Riley. What?
Sorry, I'm watching Teddy Riley. My bad. That's a that's a Darby Allin style casket, because it's kind of like that old school style. Like, that's what I feel like. If I feel like Darby made a casket, that's what it would look like, basically. So
I'm trying to say Teddy Riley casket,
It's alright. So I feel like that's just his game. Like, honestly, I feel like if it's another person having a casket match and Darby's not in it, it's probably gonna be a different casket.
Okay, it's a possibility, but
because this one, that Darby, it got spikes on it too and everything.
Yeah. The reason why I say this is because when Buddy Matthews goes to open it, Sting is in the casket.
He has to get up off the ground.
But Sting is like, and Buddy Matthews just sitting there watching, just like, oh God, like, it's Sting. And Sting got to take his time and get up out this casket. It's on the crowd. And, it's already snug in there. He's just like, all right, here I am. And then hits him with the baseball bat. Then starts going. He has like the eye, the blackened eye from the Black Mist from last week. He goes up and takes everybody out with the bat. Then tosses the bat to Malachi Black. And Malachi's is like, all right, you want me to do this? But then no. He doesn't do it. He kind of just tosses the bat away and walks up the stage. Sting not doing it yet, because they just go up there face to face up on the stage. But we never see what happens to them.
And Sting basically just like, oh, what you want? Wait, yeah. What's up? And then Alistair's just like, Malachi's just like, all right. Sting's like, no, what's up? He's like, I don't got time for this thing. No, what's up? Yeah. Oh, you gonna leave the ring? All right, I'm gonna follow you there.
That's basically what happened. Meanwhile, Brody King is up trying to open the casket, but Darby grabs a steel chain. And Darby starts hitting Brody with the chain. Then he starts choking Brody Lee with the chain.
Yeah, hanging him. Yeah, Brody King, not Brody Lee, Brody King.
Brody King. I'm sorry, you say Brody Lee. I'm sorry. Yeah, I messed up this time like Daniel Bryan. So Brody King, he's choking him. And then he goes limp. Kind of like how Brody King did with Darby Allin. He had him in the choking, and he just went limp and then eliminated him there. Where he goes limp. Perfect finish. Because he just lets go of the chain. His limp body falls right into the casket, and the momentum just has the lid just close.
Mm-hmm.
And Gerald, it
would have been awkward. It would have been awkward if it didn't close it, because that one would have had to get out and close it. But yes,
exactly. And like this pretty, like, that's what we call a hole in one.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that worked out great, and that was a damn good casket match.
Yeah, I feel like all the Darby's casket matches have been good, honestly.
They haven't been better than Mil Muertes. Remember that casket match he had with like Mil Muertes and Lucha Underground?
Yeah, but it's Lucha Underground, so.
So yeah, because I was like, that shit was great. And they was throwing the fucking casket at each other and shit like that. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no. Lucha Underground, they was like, Lucha Underground was like, we don't care about this casket. As long as you in it and it can somewhat close, we good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they was literally using that shit as a weapon. It was like Smackdown 2, Know Your Role. Remember you just get to use the fucking casket?
Sting was in probably the worst casket match I ever seen.
You talking about that Last Rites match with Abyss?
Yes.
Oh, that was bad. That was fucking bad.
But yeah.
Yeah, but like WWE hasn't really had no good casket matches. I mean, the only one I can think of that
They've all been solid. They haven't been like horrible.
I would say the two solid ones that come to my mind is Rock Undertaker and Undertaker Mark Henry. Undertaker Mark Henry.
Man, you know what? No, sorry, I'm thinking of the Buried Alive matches too. Sorry, my bad. Yeah,
And
okay.
Undertaker Mark Henry from WrestleMania 22.
Yep.
And Rock versus Undertaker from Monday Night Raw when the Rock got put in the casket and he the Twitch went hard on the sledgehammer with it. Yeah.
I think was it Triple H and Kane or something? I just remember.
That's when Shawn Michaels.
I just remember Shawn Michaels dancing on top of it.
Yes.
That's all I remember from the whole thing.
That was a great one, but I do remember that casket match.
I don't even know how the match was. I just remember him dancing on top of that casket, like. Yeah, so that's all I remember from that. I think that's in his video package too, just him dancing on the casket.
We get a tag team tornado match: Lucha Bros taking on Andrade El Idolo and Roosh.
Yep.
So this match was pretty good too, because obviously it's a tornado match, and you know it's going to be a spot thing. But the one spot came, Andrade gave Pentagon the knees in the corner, and Roosh had an idea, said we're going to tie Pentagon's mask to the ropes. So he ties the mask, they double knotted. So now he's in he's tied to the ropes, and now he has to make a decision. Does he unmask himself to try to save his brother, or is he stay there and keep his mask on? So they are jumping Ray Phoenix, and then they give Ray Phoenix, I forgot what kind of move it was, and then they laid him out, and then they go to cover him, and then Pentagon decides to just take off his mask and go make the save. And meanwhile, he's still trying to cover his face. Like half his face is covered, and the other is, he has his hand covering it, which is kind of funny to me because I'm just like, he still got makeup on.
Yeah.
So you still can't fully see what he looks
this
like.
Man got makeup on his whole face instead of covering it under the mask. Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
that's like if Sting was to put a mask on. It's like, all right, like, okay.
Sting used to do that. Remember that WCW where that whole Sting mask gimmick where everybody had a Sting mask on and he took it off and be like,
oh, no, I'm not talking about a mask that looks like a Sting mask. I'm talking about a whole nother like.
Yes.
Like Lucha, Penta had like a whole nother mask. They had face paint under it. I'm like,
that's a lot on your face.
Yes.
That's a whole lot on your face. But yeah, so he comes and tries to save him. Roosh rams Ray Phoenix with the bull horns, which that move like it's like a running drop kick while he's sitting in the corner, like it like took Ray out. He was like out, and then Andrade gave him the hammerlock DDT, and they won the matchup. So good tornado tag team matchup.
Yeah, and I believe that Roosh, Andrade, and Dragon Lee, I think it will be in a trios tournament. I don't know if you ever seen Dragon Lee, but he's really good.
Yes, they are going to be in a trios tournament along with these motherfuckers, the Dark Order.
I thought you were going to say the Trustbusters. I was going to say,
oh my God, I am not a fan of Trustbusters, by the way. Oh, fuck them Trustbusters, man. Like they should be called Land of the Misfit Toys. Like seriously, the Trustbusters, they got Harlan over there now. Sonny Kisses a heel now. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on, man? Anyway, I'm sorry. I went off track.
And why are they in the Trustbusters?
I am not a fan of these
who you gonna call? Trustbusters.
And it was when that shit all on Rampage on Friday. I'm just like, no, I'm good.
They had to build up the new group.
That's going to be in the fucking trios tournament. Like out of all the sure. Dark Order's backstage, and then Matt and Nick Jackson want to apologize to Hangman and say that the way he treated him. But Paige said, "Look, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be with the Dark Order. And I'll be in their corner cheering them on." And I can't be your partner. I'm like, one, the Dark Order fucking sucks. And two, I'm like, y'all mean to tell me y'all not gonna put Hangman in this fucking tournament? Somebody from the Dark Order is going down. He gonna end up joining them. But obviously, the Bucks had to find a partner. This is leading back to the return of Kenny Omega.
If it leads back to the if it leads back to trying to Kenny Omega, then they got to win. But like, so Undisputed Era is not in it at all.
At all.
Opportunity missed. Okay.
Well, I think they're legit still suffering from injuries. Like I think
I know what I'm saying. Like that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But okay. So if the Bucks do, they'll probably be there first. But okay. All right. Depending on when the matches are, the Dark Order could lose first before the Bucks even have their first match. So after the Dark Order lose, Heyman's like, well, I don't have to go for him anymore because they out the tournament, and then he can go with the Bucks.
Maybe. I also think Kenny Omega coming back.
Yeah, well, I don't want Kenny Omega to die. I guess that's why he would be in a trios match to hide him. But okay,
I mean, so you say he's still not 100%?
This man will never be 100% ever. He will never be 80%.
Damn, what the hell happened to Kenny Omega?
This man has never had this man basically wrestled broken for years. So
fair enough. He been doing hour matches with Okada and shit. So
yes, even before that, he was just wrestling for like broken, not even like getting checked or anything. So yes. Plus, it's weird to me. He's a wrestler, but he has every time he wrestles, he has vertigo. That's crazy to me.
It is.
Well, yes.
How is he last with that? I don't know. I don't necessarily know.
But if it leads to the return of Kenny Omega, that's great. They should keep saving for the pay-per-view. Because I swear to God, if it's like Brandon Cutler or something, I'm like, all right.
Oh, God, no. Oh, goodness, no. Next up, we have Jungle Boy's on the commentary team while we have Luchasaurus versus Anthony Henry. And Luchasaurus makes quick work of him. But Jungle Boy sees Christian Cage up on the screen. And he's insulting Jungle Boy and everything. But Jungle Boy's like, wait a minute. I know where that place is at. And he's...
Obviously, it's the interview area.
He's looking like, I know where that's at. And he goes run back there and leaps for Christian. But the security just pulls him off. And I was like, I was like, who? If y'all ain't do your job right there, I was like, y'all gonna mess up a whole angle. But Christian is telling him to get Jungle Boy out of here, stuff like that. I love seeing that kind of intensity by Jungle Boy. Then
Luchasaurus comes in and beats some people up, and then they're like, wait a minute, that's Pac Buck? I'm like, okay. Like, I know he was like a WWE producer and all that, but they had to point out the big deal. I was like, all right, we good.
Exactly. The Redeemer Miro had some words for House of Black, but Julia Hart told Miro to embrace the darkness, and Miro said, only one woman is allowed to touch me, and that his path was now and clear. So let me probably get like a Miro verse.
We don't, and I repeat, we don't need to see Lana. I will be fine if we don't see Lana. I will live.
You know the Redeemer's calling up that Lana.
I will live if he doesn't. He called on God for weeks. God didn't show up. So, let it be the same thing.
I'm going to pretend like you ain't say that. But yeah.
That was his gimmick. He was like, come and fight me. And he never came out. So, I mean,
so
keep it going.
Mark Henry tried to interview Powerhouse Hobbs until QT Marshall and the Factory interrupted him. Hobbs just gonna walked off. Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Sab Singh head to the ring.
Now, to be honest with you, this is the first time I heard Jay Lethal's theme song. I was like, oh. At first I was like, did he go back to the Black Machismo? No, he did not.
No, he did not.
That's what I thought it was. Because, it started off, dun, 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 then there's like a record scratch, and then it goes to his music. So I was like, okay.
And Willow storms out. He says, you want another shot at this? But tonight, I'm whooping all three of your asses. FTR comes out when Willow's back, and then they go in there.
Yeah, unnecessary.
And
not the FTR coming out is unnecessary. What I'm saying, like, you don't need the best tag team in the world to defeat Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt So, yeah.
So, Jay Lethal gets a big rig, and that's what it was. Absolute Ricky starts taking on Aaron Solo. This match was just basically about him beating up, winning the matchup afterwards, and then they kind of got mad. They tried to the factory. God, get rid of this shit. Tried to jump Ricky Starks after the match, and then he ended up giving one of the members of the factory. I forgot, the big dude.
Nick Camarado.
Yeah, Nick Camarado. He gives him the powerhouse hop spine buster. And so as he did that, they showed backstage of Powerhouse Hobbs just breaking TVs and shit. He mad as shit that he used this move. So it looks like it's going to be them two at it at All Out.
The revolution is televised.
TBS title match: Jade Cargill versus your girl and your girl only, the new coach of AEW. Say her name, Prime.
Anyway, she loses.
Madison Rain. Welcome.
She loses next match.
Oh, don't you love Madison Rain?
No.
Yes, you. Oh my God! Every time we talk about it, you be always high for Madison Rain. I'm like, yo, please, I'll give her that much.
No, I say Madison Rain is cool. Madison Rain is cool. She does not need to First of all, she retires and overretires every month.
Yeah.
That's first. Second of all, I never thought she was bad in the ring. I'm just like, okay, she's whatever. It was during the Divas era, so she was just like whatever, So whatever.
She's not that good.
Yeah. Right. She's better than Lacey Von Erich.
Yeah, she ain't better than Angelina Love.
But Angelina Love wasn't there when she was there, so
So, Master Ray try to go and what does it say? Jay hit Master Ray with a spear. Master tries to go back for the neck breaker for Jay for near fall, and then meanwhile we get Karen Hogan comes up on the ring and distracts Master Ray. Jay goes for her bicycle kick and hits Karen Hogan because Master Ray moved out the way and missed by that much. I was like, well, that's obvious. You even get
I will say that I do like Jay wrestling Madison Rain because even though she's not, the best, she still has a lot of knowledge. So I think that can also help Jay too.
Yeah. But after the matchup, Athena comes down and jumps up.
People still, at this point, people still making fun of Ariana Miller. So it was like, I know she got excited when Athena came.
Exactly. Oh my God. Oh, she about to be the first black TBS champion.
That's what people say. I was like, come on, people, stop it.
Athena about to be the first black TBS champion. Did y'all see that shit? I play. Because Jade ain't all black. She half black, half muscle.
Athena held up the title. I still don't believe it.
No, I think Athena gonna be. I think they're gonna go at it all out, but I think she's gonna lose.
Yeah, like I said, they got some building to do because ain't nothing right now. Just because you hold the title, I have no faith in you right now. So you got to
exactly. Jay may kiss her, may give another kiss of death. Athena may like it this time, but Tony Schiavone's backstage with Thunderstorm. Chris Statlander was injured, but Tony's main goal was to be AEW Women's Champion. And Thunder Rosa said, "We'll talk about it some other time." Main event for the AEW Interim World Championship match: the Black John Moxley taking on Lionheart Chris Jericho. Old school Lionheart Chris Jericho with the yellow and black tights, had the vest, had the clean shaven, had the old theme. I was like, I'm glad he was committed to this.
Yep.
Yes. So this match was really good. I really enjoyed this matchup. Jericho before the break rips out Moxie's earring. They don't show any kind of blood or anything. They go to commercial. When we come back, Moxie's ear and the side of his face is just covered with blood. I'm just like, the fuck?
Yep.
Was that a delayed something, or was it these Moxie matches?
Maybe he just kept, maybe he just kept punching it or something.
I was like, these Moxie matches, like, there's gonna be blood. There's gonna be a lot of blood.
Somebody, because they showed me a post, it was like Mox after taking a German suplex and he's leaking.
just leaking. They be coming at Moxie hard. I was supposed to be like, just like, oh shit.
Nah. Lately though, it's been off of like stupid stuff. Like you take a move to the outside and you just bust it open. It's like, okay, you doing too much.
Goodness gracious. So yeah, right now he's just bleeding a lot.
I will say there's like one thing that I didn't like about this whole Lionheart thing.
Okay.
I think Jericho was too old to do some of these stretches he was trying to do.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah. Other than that, it was good. But some of these Stu Hart stretches, I was like, all right, you have extra belly there now. You can't really do that.
Hey, thank you. I was just like, bro, I get it. I know you the last surviving dungeon member, but bro.
Even though he wasn't, but
It was Tyson Kidd, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tyson Kidd, D.H. Smith, Natalia, Lance Storm,
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people from the dungeon. I'm talking about the last.
Mark Henry.
Like I said, the last people coming from the dungeon. I'm talking about. But,
when did Stu Hart die?
2010.
So yes, Tyson Kidd was definitely a not member. Tyson Kidd has been there since they were like 10.
I believe it.
Yes.
I believe it. Jericho ripped off the turnbuckle pads, and then he was pointing something in the crowd. And we found out it was Sammy Guevara. So in the crowd, Sammy tosses Floyd, the baseball bat, to Chris Jericho. But he overshot the shit. It just flies all over Chris Jericho and goes outside the ring.
See him in the crowd was like, oops.
And then he in the crowd was like, oh man, I did that shit. So
know what would have been funnier? Because obviously the quote unquote the referee's not supposed to see it. Yeah. It'd be funny if the bat would have just hit her. Like
that would have been great. He had really fucked up on that one. And they had to hit like Ari, or if she played it off like, I'm knocked out. It could have been like that too, like depending on how quick to a reaction that that she is. So then he goes outside the ring, gets the bat and everything, and then and then he goes and hits him with the bat 2 count. Then Mox tries to apply the rear naked choke. Jericho escapes and blasts him with the Judas effect. I was like, oh shit, that was kind of close. I thought it was gonna be it.
Yeah, he was hitting all the balls.
Yeah. He kicks out the Judas effect. So we hear the "Fight Forever" chant.
Yeah. At one point, Jericho did a top rope code breaker. He called him from the top rope.
Exactly. Yeah, I was like, oh wait, yeah. He was pulling all stuff out again. Mm-hmm. Jericho even puts the line table on him. Now Jericho's busted open because Jericho ran to the turnbuckle post face first, and that was like a legit cut.
Yep.
I'm like, Jericho, bro, your nose still sensitive from the last fucking time. We get a cool breaker. Your nose at the barbed wire mask. I'm like, bro,
you gotta do it like a flare, brother. You gotta do it hard way.
Yeah, well, he was bleeding like buckets all over there too, and he had the whole knee in the neck with the lion tamer, but Moxley gets out of it. They put him in the rear naked choke. Jericho taps out. So Moxley retains, but then that doesn't stop the Jericho Appreciation Society from coming out and attacking.
10 plus weeks.
Say what?
Sports entertainers, huh?
Oh yeah, the sports entertainers.
Sports entertainers.
Attacking
like EA Sports.
And as they're attacking, we hear, Cult of Personality, CM Punk music hits, and he comes out, and CM Punk just clears out the whole Jericho Appreciation Society. It throws Hager against the steel steps, and then just starts punching guys. It goes all the way to the ring.
I didn't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
Well, tell me why.
He's obviously still hurt.
It did like that a little bit.
When I say obvious, I mean like from the moment he walked out, he limped out. I was like, oh no.
He said, oh no. Like wrap that foot up because I think CM Punk was like, I'm not missing 2 Chicago shows. I'm not doing it.
I know, but I'm saying like, I don't know how necessarily hurt. I'm probably sure he can still do stuff on it, but like, he's still limping, heavily limping. Like you could tell he was like not trying to put weight on that foot.
Exactly. I thought we would have recognized that. When he comes in there, he clears his house, and Moxie's sitting there buying his time. Like, I know he's behind me, staring at me.
He even does you know how like you step on the tube, you know, the second rope, and he kind of just like balance shift, like, come on.
Yeah.
He couldn't even do that. His leg was like wobbling. I was like, oh no. But yeah. Face to face with Mox.
Yeah, and then Moxie just sits there looking at him, he gives him the finger, and they kind of like, and then bumps his shoulder and walks off.
Which I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, you know, Moxie's gonna be.
No, I'm saying if I'm Punk, I'm like, I'm taking the title. What you mean?
I mean, yeah.
They should have had two titles. They should have had Punk come out with a title too.
Who come out with a title?
Punk.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I am the
because Punk just looking at him, he got a title. I'm like, no, that's mine. Like that's legit my title. So just gonna let Monster walk away with your title?
You gotta agree.
I don't know.
But that was AEW Dynamite for this week. So I think both shows did pretty good, but I'm still gonna give the edge to Dynamite. Surprisingly, yes, but I'm gonna give the edge to Dynamite this week. I thought the Coffin match was great, the main event was great, and that tornado tag was great also.
Yeah, so, maybe NXT and Heatwave will do good. So we'll see. Maybe they might win. We don't know.
I am all for that. Do you have any quick Heatwave predictions?
Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes,
okay.
Mandy Rose, Tony D'Angelo.
Damn. Okay. Well, let me slow the fuck down.
And Corey J.
Okay. Well, I have Corey J winning. I have Mandy Rose beating Zoe Starks. I got Braun Breaker beating J.D. McDoug or McDowell, whatever his name is. The Carmelo Hayes one is iffy to me because I'm like, one of them got to come to the main roster, whether it's Giovanni Vinci for Imperium or Carmelo Hayes.
Well, they don't have to. They could call up somebody like Cameron Lee. Cameron
Grimes.
Wait, is it Trevor Lee?
Cameron Grimes.
Trevor Lee.
To the moon.
Yeah, Cameron Grimes. Yeah.
And then I saying it with Santos and Tony D'Angelo, but I think Tony D'Angelo wins this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I think Corey. I believe. What's the guy name with Apollo?
Nobody's with Apollo right now.
That used to be with Apollo.
Oh, Commander Aziz.
I think he is the guy for Cora J. I think he's her bodyguard or something.
Oh, she has a new bodyguard?
I believe so. I don't know if they are on TV yet, but I know he is on like the indie shows.
It's a possibility. Well, guys, that was our maybe wrestling review. Also, make sure you guys check out the predictions that we have for Heatwave at the end of the show. But I think AEW had a better show this week. So, like, subscribe, and share. And then, listen to the podcast. Keep on listening. But for those on YouTube, make sure you guys check us out for more right here on NC Studios.